Hello again to a new video. Today I will explain four types of concepts in physics and an example you can observe in everyday life, their meaning, and possibly help yourself in your studies using formulas and of course different simulator again, in which we can reproduce them, although we will not be able to change the values at our disposal. But first, let's begin with defining the concepts of force and motion in addition to the relationship. The relationship of these concepts is that while force can manifest itself, movement cannot be possible without a force presence. Force. The force is a physical phenomenon capable of modifying the speed of displacement, movement, and even a structure corresponding to the action applied to a body. Movement, on the other hand, refers to the change or state of position of a body. Net force is the vector sum with direction and sense of the forces that act on a particle or body, producing an acceleration greater than all the real forces together as described in Newton's second law of motion. The formulas. In net force we have three formulas, each one representing a specific case. The first one, means force net equals to the sum of all the forces. The second one only applies when the net force is zero and the object is at rest. And the third one, force net equals to mass multiplied by acceleration, which is possible if the force is greater than or different from zero. Examples we can observe in real life is when several people push a car. The net force is the sum of each force applied by each person. When we move a box on the floor, there is a friction force in the opposite direction to the thrust force. On the third one, when a bag is loaded, a force is applied, then the subtraction between the weight and the applied force generates the net force. We can use different diagrams to allow us to visualize and graph the net force, such as the free body, where the mass of the object is reduced to a point in a Cartesian plane. There are also two divisions, which are when the body is at rest or in motion. Motion, as we seen previously, according to the type of trajectory that a body describes, its movement can be classified. Rectilinear motion, linear trajectory with parallel speed and acceleration. It is usually studied in two cases. Uniform line movement describes a body that has constant velocity but zero acceleration, and uniformly accelerated rectilinear motion describe a body that has a constant acceleration. Second one, uniform circular motion describes a body that moves around the axis of rotation with a constant radius and angular velocity. Third one, parabolic movement describes a movement that creates a parabola. Is the result of the composition of uniform horizontal rectilinear movement and a uniformly accelerated vertical one. Well, what are the elements in motion? Trajectory is a line with which the movement of a specific body can be described, in which, due to its nature, can be rectilinear when it is a straight line without variations in its trajectory. Chord is a fragment of circumference. Circular is the complete circumference. Elliptical Also, it can be a fragment of an ellipse or the complete ellipse. A parabolic is a parabola. Distance, amount of space traveled by the object in its movement. Speed, relationship between the distance traveled and the time the body travels. Acceleration, it is the change in speed per unit of time. We can see many examples like the orbit of planets around a star, the pendulum of a clock, or even a bowling ball. Every object has a movement. Friction, it's a force between two surfaces that are in contact. It opposes movement, having a reverse direction. Friction can also produce an effect on surface in contact, and is it the fact that the kinetic energy lost by friction it is transformed into heat and can suffer damage or erosion. There are two types of friction, static and dynamic. Static opposes sliding on another surface when the object remains at rest, and dynamic is when it opposes the object at a constant speed over another. Formula is defined as friction equals to coefficient friction multiplied by normal force. And is that every day we can see this force in car wheels, a plane in the air, a submarine in the ocean, among others. Acceleration, it's a magnitude that indicates how the speed of the object can change in a given unit of time. Isaac Newton said, acceleration is ordered by the force that the object carries with it in, and the trajectory that it describes is perceived when the particle experiences an increase in speed in the same direction in which it goes. If it alters its course, acceleration will not be uniform, and but its orientation will change and it will slow down. The formula in this case is acceleration equals to elapsed velocity over elapsed time, and can be translated to final velocity minus initial velocity over time. And velocity is a vector quantity. Consequently, acceleration is also representation from real life. There are many. When we increase our speed when walking, a car that accelerates after a traffic light, a cyclist that goes up on a slope, etc. Well friends, that was all for today's video. I hope it has made this concept clear for you. You can use them efficiently. Special greetings to my buddies, viewers, and even the teacher Christian. I'm Kobe, and bye bye.